The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Take some questions from local journalists first, then the rest, and maybe the last 5 minutes I'll raise my hand. All broadcasters, please stop broadcasting and we'll take a non-live embargo till 6 AM tomorrow. Okay. First question, please. Okay.
Martin, you were... does this work? Yeah? Martin, you were a coach of Niklas Bendtner when you were in Sunderland. What can you tell us about that time with him back then?
With Niklas? Well, very interesting. As only Niklas can be. Yeah, when I got, he was on loan from Arsenal, and obviously good footballer, really good player. And when he set his mind to it, he was excellent. He had to set his mind to it, though. But he's... Did
he do that often?
He did it often enough for us during the course of that time, absolutely, you know. And I remember one game in particular. I think it might have been against Liverpool, where he was unplayable. He played really, really well, really well. Got us the 3 points and was really excellent. Overall, really fine. Stopped the side from being relegated. Played a big part in that, and did really well.
Okay, questions, guys? Okay. Yeah. No.
You also had Martin Laursen in Aston Villa. I remember interviewing you back then when he was a player of the year in Denmark, and you were really fond of him. What can you remember from Martin?
Well, I'm pleased he's not playing tomorrow anyway, because he was a colossus. Martin Laursen was absolutely fantastic for me at Aston Villa. When I arrived there, he looked as if he was struggling with injury, but his discipline, obviously, I think that was forged in his time in Italy. Really strong discipline to get his knee right, and within a few weeks he was in the team. Within a few weeks after that, he could play both Saturday and midweek, and for the next couple of seasons he was absolutely outstanding as a top quality centre half, and absolutely brilliant person.
Patrick?
Martin, what did you make of what happened to Northern Ireland last night? Obviously the penalty decision must have sent a bit of a shudder down the spine, given you face your own playoff challenge over the next few days.
Well, it looked a pretty poor decision, and I obviously sympathise with that. And if that ends up deciding the tie, then it would be very disappointing.
Are you personally in favour of video referees? Or?
Oh, that's for another day. It's a long discussion, and I don't think that if you want just afterwards, sit down, have a cup of tea with me, we'll discuss it.
For me?
But not tonight. Do you take sugar?
No sugar for me.
No sugar. Black or white?
White. White, no sugar, please. Martin, where does this rank?
Oh, not so sure about that, Philip. Sorry, Pat, go on.
Where would this rank among the big games? You've won plenty of them as Ireland manager. Does this fit right in with the biggest of them?
Oh, it's a great game for us. Yeah, it's obviously goes the same with Denmark as well too. They've, but as far as we're concerned, the qualifying for the Euros was great achievement for us, and I thought that some of the performances in France were great. Young man beside me forged a very strong reputation, by playing brilliantly in that competition. Getting there is big, but the World Cup is something else as well too. So this would be, if we could make it, it would be fantastic. And I think obviously our opponents will feel exactly the same.
About your relationship with Åge Hareide, the Denmark head coach, because you played with him at City. I think he said earlier you signed on the same day, played together at Norwich, and you were his landlord for a bit. What do you remember of those times?
Well, yeah, I had, since I was a better player, I was earning more money than he was at the time, and Åge had no place to stay originally, and so he stayed with me, and I charged him very, very cheap rent, and he turned out to be a really good player, and so I'm going to send him the bill. Yeah, he stayed with me, really, as he turned out to be an excellent player, and I've kept in contact with him, not every single year over the time, but he's had an excellent reputation as a coach, and he did really fine as a player. Oh, he was good. He was really good. He didn't use it that often, you know, like by only 23 hours out of the 24. But he was really good, genuinely really good. No, he was just staying for a little while until he got his own place.
Yeah, over here. A question for both of you, actually. Can you just say some words about the strength of the Danish team and the quality of the players? Eriksen, obviously, but others as well.
Yeah, we know. They've got some fantastic players. It's going to be a really tough game, so I'm sure they're going to be prepared to the best of their capability, and we're also prepared. So it's got the makings of a good game. So hopefully all goes well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Naturally, we've been able to see quite a lot of them from DVDs. Be the same they also with us, and it'll be really tough. But you're in a qualification playoff game. It's going to be tough, and they're the seeded side. I suppose the expectation on them is probably maybe to get through, but we've overcome adversity in the last couple of years, and we're going to try and get.
Would you agree that the individual class is bigger for the Danish team than your team?
Would I agree with what?
Individual class of the players, is it better in the Danish team than in your team?
I think they've got some fine players, and so have we. We have as well too. Again, young man to my left-hand side, pretty decent, and they have some big players playing in the major leagues around Europe, and that's obviously a big advantage. But we've overcome these disadvantages in the past.
Question to both Martin and Robbie. When the draw was made, a lot of people suggested this was a good draw for Ireland, or the best draw we could get considering some of the other teams you could play. Did you guys see it that way going into the draw, and how do you see it now?
Well, for me personally, my own view was, and I said this at the time, I think that because of the quality and the experience that Italy would have, I don't think any of the non-seeded sides, and I was speaking to Michael about this, Michael O'Neill would want to have had Italy if that was the case. But that doesn't mean to turn around and say that we are unseeded in the group. So any side that was going to be is naturally going to be seeded above us for a start. And I think that when the draw was finally made, because it wasn't Italy, I think there was just the general hoo-ha. Oh, that's fine, but it's not fine. No, the games are tough, as the young lady said there. They've got quality. They've got a lot of quality. They've got boys playing in major leagues throughout Europe, the top leagues as well too, and they beat Poland, our old adversaries, 4-0 here. Are we back to get them really going again in the group? It's been a very, very strong finish, and So this is difficult. It's just because I think people thought it wasn't Italy, but anything was going to be difficult. That was my view, and it still remains so.
Martin, as well as saying that you were a good landlord, the Denmark manager said that the Irish are easy to read and the game plan doesn't change. Have you something up your sleeve to surprise him tomorrow evening?
Well, I think that if you watch a lot of Denmark as well too, they've the similar pattern most of the games. They might have a stronger choice of player eventually, in the sense that they've got players on the bench who are playing in the big leagues, to say throughout Europe. But I don't necessarily concur with that there. But I think that I've been, competitively speaking, I've been in this national job for 3 years, actually 4, but competitively speaking, and I think that we, for games that we've played, and we've played a lot of matches now. This will be, I think, our 24th qualification game, and we've played a lot of teams in that. And I think there's a general pattern between a lot of sides. I think you could go and, for instance, we play Bosnia. You would know how Bosnia would play. Some players change because individuals take up different positions, but overall the pattern is still the same. And the Danish pattern is pretty well similar as well too. So we know what to expect from them.
Has there been any change with Jeff Hendrick or Stephen Ward overnight? Do you still expect them to be fit?
Yeah, I'm hoping that both will be fit, yeah.
Robbie, it's 2 years now since you got that crucial goal over in Bosnia. When you think back on that night and that playoff, how important a night was that in your career? And in terms of your international career, how far it's come over the last couple of years? Do you feel you have a different role within the team now? Do you feel you have more of a leadership role?
It's different. It's a different squad. You know, we had a couple of senior players and a couple of head figures that had left. So I think over the past couple of years, it's been good to knit together some of the new lads coming in, and it's a strong group of players we have. So as for me, I was there a couple of years ago before the new lads come in. So just to help them settle in and sort of bed in over the last couple of years. We've had some good results and a decent enough campaign so far, so hopefully we can continue that.
We've a huge amount of players on yellow cards heading into the game tomorrow night, and you've had your own issues with yellow cards during the campaign. Is that just natural over a 10-match campaign that these things can add up, or do you feel that it is a kind of group that when they pull on the green jersey there's a bit more emotion involved than it might be in a normal game?
Maybe, yeah. Like I said, there's a few going into the game tomorrow on yellow cards, but I don't think you can concentrate too much on that. We've got a job to do tomorrow night. We'll get that done first and foremost, and go from there. But obviously, if we can avoid picking up any more yellows, it'll be helpful along the way.
Okay, everything after this is non-live, please. So